Rugby League. A little bit of Rugby League for you Valentine's Day. Hey guys, how you going? So down BKRsport. It is going to be an absolute massive day of a sport. If you love sport, then listen, your partners are going to be having a bit of trouble today. God bless everyone's partners because Valentine's Day has so much rugby league that you just don't know what to do with it. And then not only that, we've got this game here, Warriors Manly, we've got Tigers Roosters, we've got Knights Bulldogs and Dragons Rabbitohs. But then we have a massive game in the T20 World Cup tonight between New Zealand and South Africa. So we're going to be here live for 5 straight streams here today. And it's going to be absolutely full on, man. So I hope you guys are ready to knuckle down and get into the old damn well sport here today. Obviously hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. Before we do get into the New Zealand Warriors versus the Manly Seagulls, the 3 preseason games that have already happened, we have seen the Gold Coast Titans. They won 24-12. Go that damn well Titans, son. 24-12 over the Dolphins. The Raiders won 32-6 over the Storm. And the Cowboys effectively ended the Penrith Panthers' chances of winning a premiership this year by winning 66-24 yesterday, just for context. So Cowboys had a full-strength roster in. The Panthers had basically nobody in, right? And I do believe that there was people saying on Instagram last night that we have seen in 2008, apparently Manly lost by over 50 points to the Melbourne Storm in the preseason, and then obviously ended up winning that grand final 40-0 over the Melbourne Storm in the grand final, right? So preseason doesn't count regarding that, but let us have some fun, you cats. Come on, give us a break. Give us a break. Just let us believe that it's not going to be another Panthers year and believe that it's a Titans or maybe even a Warriors year for all we know. Maybe it's this year as the merchandise does say. But let's get into the 2 team lineups here for today's game. This is at McLean Park in Napier. And guys, I just need to reiterate, as per usual, please understand this is a pre-season game. Whether you win or whether you lose, it does not matter. It doesn't matter at all. You want to see some good positivity. You want to see the individual players shining. You want to see your youngsters and your youth development really shining, which is what the disappointment will be for the Panthers yesterday. But overall, that's as far as it goes. It's just a hit out. It's just getting the blood pumping again and getting the body right back into the rhythm of week-to-week rugby league. And that's why in the first week, you don't see really any of the major stars play. In the second week is when you basically see, the team put on a full strength, at least for the first half, right? So even the second week isn't too impactful, but at least you get a much better idea about where your team will be. For example, the Cowboys against the Panthers, but it was, again, just a little bit rough because the Panthers didn't play anybody. Same thing goes today with the Dragons versus the Rabbitohs. Dragons, they played last week because they're going to be in Vegas, so they're going to play a full strength roster later on today. The Rabbitohs aren't going to play basically anybody, so the Dragons should romp in that game as well and emulate what the Cowboys did yesterday with the Panthers. But there is the game between the Knights and the Bulldogs later on today that will have both teams at basically full strength, at least for the first half, because they both played last week and they will both be in Vegas in 2 weeks' time. But all right, let's get into these 2 team lineups. So the Warriors, they play Manly at McLean Park in Napier. Is it Napier or Napier? I'm going to go with Napier, but let me know in the chat if I'm wrong there, Kiwis. The fullback is Geronimo Doyle, with the wingers being Hazen Mellars and Motu Pasikala. Centres of Ali Leotawa and Leka Halasima. He will be in the centres today. It's a big boy centre, that. 5'8", Luke Hanson, with the halfback being the man who never misses, Tanner Boyd. Front row forwards of Dimitri Vemulga and Jackson Ford. Number 9 of Wade Egan. Back row, Kurt Catewell, who is the captain, and Morgan Gannon, with the 13 being Aaron Clark. Interchange of Sam Healy, Tanastawa Smith, Eddie Jeremiah Toava, Kalis Fatia Lofa, and then the reserves, who you will see today as well, Makaya Tafua, Rodney Tuipolotu Vea, Jack Thompson, Kalis Porpatoko, Dayon Amituanai, Amituanai, Seal Kali, Paya Sikovea, Brandon Norris, Harrison Inch, Harry Tauafiafi Lutoi, and Jacob Auloa. This preseason is going to kill me in regards to the pronunciation of these names that I haven't seen before. Obviously, the one with the Panthers yesterday was very, very interesting, but I'm doing my best here. Look, when you're looking at the guys on the first team for the Warriors going forward, realistically, there's not many here. Leka Halasima were there. Ali Leotower, he may be there definitely at points, and he may be there as consistent, but not 100% too sure yet. Tanner Boyd obviously will be thereabouts. He had a fantastic year last year in the not the under 19. Sorry, he had a great reserve grade comp win in the premiership for the New South Wales Cup. That was awesome. So hopefully Tanner can really lock himself in. But obviously Luke Metcalf coming back into that 7 role. I'm not too sure what really happens with their 6 overall. But Tanner's going to find it difficult to get into that starting position, despite the fact that Tanner is a really good halfback. It's just that it's been a really difficult start for his career. It's been a really difficult at the Titans, and now he's had to pick himself back up here at the Warriors. So hopefully he can get a move on. But he's a name you'll know. Vay Malgut, he's been thereabouts for the Warriors. Wade Egan's obviously their number 1 hooker. Even though Sam Healy is a guy that really rocketed onto my scene last year. I thought he was fantastic, and arguably I actually think Sam Healy, out of the two of them, I just get a bit more excited about. Jackson Ford back in, you'll love to see that. Kurt Catewell here and Aaron Clark. So there is still quite a few of these names here that are week-to-week starters here for the Warriors, and Sam Healy, Tanner Stowers-Smith, Eddie Toava, all 3 of those guys have featured quite regularly last year for the Warriors. Now you move across to the Manly Seagulls. Their fullback is Blake Metcalf. Wingers of Blake Wilson and Navran Willett. Centres of Clayton Faulalo and Josh Felitti. 5'8", Onatonia Large, and the halfback is Joey Walsh. Front row forwards are Simeone, Laafi and Paul Bryan. Number 9, Captain Brandon Wakeham. He's been everywhere, hasn't he? Back row of Jackson Levi, Sherab Schmidt. The other back row, who's originally the 15, Hugo Hart. With the 13 is Corey Waddle, who shifts from the back row to the lock. You go to the interchange, Zadis Muagututia, Viliami Fafita, Kylan Mafoa, and then the reserves, because there's no 17 for some reason on here, Tyler Melrose, Anders Johansson, Benjamin Keane O'Keefe, and Tom Summer. So this is interesting because on NRL.com, the Manly Seagulls don't have a 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, or 30, whilst the Warriors have all of them, and also Manly don't have a 17 in this game. So quite interesting there that you can't see that. Sometimes that does update, and they do in fact have a player there, but for the time being, there is dead set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 positions here. 8 positions for Manly that are less than what the Warriors are going to be having today based off of this team list. So the guys from Manly that you would know realistically isn't going to be many. Blake Wilson comes across from the Dogs. He's there or thereabouts. Clayton Faulalo he features at times. Josh Felitti comes across from the Tigers. May know him, but hasn't really kicked on with his career. Joey Walsh is one of the high prospect 7s coming through the competition right now. You've got guys like Mitchell Woods from the Bulldogs. You've got Zane Harrison from the Titans. And you've got Joey Walsh here from Manly. So he's a part of that kind of core group, and he has a lot of high rapport. He has a fantastic reputation, Joey Walsh, and he's probably going to be the 14 this year. But with that being said, I did say that he's my breakout of the year when I did my video on the breakouts from each club, because I'm not too convinced overall in Jamal Fogarty and Luke Brooks as the halves. I don't know what Anthony Seibold, how long he lasts, to be honest with you. I just feel like Joey Walsh is the guy to take this team into the future, and how long until they realise that for mine. So, so definitely watch out for Joey Walsh here at Manly. You'll definitely know Brandon Wakeham's name. At least he's played Fiji. You know, he's also played many games for the Tigers and whatnot, but hasn't really been able to make a consistent starter for himself overall. And then you go to Corey Waddle. He plays quite a bit. And then that's about it. Maybe you would have known the name Viliami Fafita and overall, but you know, there's not much kicking around here for the Manly Seagulls. So look, today if I was to make a prediction, ultimately I would go the Warriors here. I do feel there's I have a bit more faith in their team, especially with the likes of Aaron Clark. Hopefully he can continue his momentum from last year, because I thought he should have won your Player of the Year. Wade Egan, fantastic. Sam Healy, fantastic. Kurt Catewell, Origin. Jackson Ford, fantastic. Tanner Boyd, doesn't miss that bloke. Doesn't miss. And the back line is solid enough there, especially with those 2 big-time centres of Halasima and Leotower. So, guys, obviously hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. Comment in the chat. Let me know your thoughts about this game here today. Currently, in regards to the preseason table, the Cowboys have got 3 bonus points and 2 wins. Their preseason is done. They have 27 points there with a points differential of plus 46. The Raiders, they've only played the 1 game. They played yesterday, obviously, against the Storm. They won And they've got 15 points with 3 bonus points, which is great. They've got a points differential of 26, so they would only need to win and get 2 bonus points next week against the Sharks, and then they would actually, they would still need to fix a points differential plus 26. If they can get a 20-point win against the Sharks, then fantastic. They actually may go on to win the minor premiership, the preseason here. But the Raiders are a chance. The Titans also there with the 3 bonus points. Well, if the Raiders get all 3 bonus points, and the same thing goes for the Titans here, then both those teams, could put themselves up into that win of the pre-season. But the thing is that we've only seen a couple of games. We've still got both these teams here between Warriors and Manly. One of these teams just needs to win by a big margin and get those bonus points of the 10 plus offloads, the 5 plus line breaks, the 5 plus tries, and then the win. If you get that, then it's completely all on for all days. It's just that the Cowboys, they won't be able to get the full 6 bonus points on offer. They only got the 3, which is why it's beneficial to other teams chasing them down. Titans have got a points differential plus 12. Dragons, they're on 13. They only got the 1 bonus point. They played their final game today against the Rabbitohs. They should probably get all 3 of their bonus points in that one. They should, but that would only take them to 26. So they can't win the minor premiership now based on the fact that... they can't. And they'd also have to win by 36 or more, but a full 13 points. No, sorry, they can still win They can still win it, but they would get to 28 points. Actually, they still can, to be fair. Anyone can. I don't even know why I'm reading through this preseason table because it ultimately doesn't mean shit. It ultimately just doesn't mean shit. There's kind of no point to this. It's just for 100k, and it's just to get your gambling money. That's literally the only reason the preseason is now watchable for everybody. But all right, let's get in the chat, and let's have a good Valentine's Day here with everyone, baby. Let's get it. Let us go and get it. Ben, good afternoon, Mr. BKR. Mate, it's 9:30 in the morning for me in Vietnam, so it's not afternoon over here, but no, it's a massive day we've got ahead of us here. Like I said, there is 4 NRL games into that New Zealand versus South Africa big-time T20 World Cup game later on tonight. The 4 games, as I was speaking about before, Warriors versus Manly, Tigers versus Roosters, Knights versus Bulldogs, and Dragons versus Rabbitohs, with the Knights, Bulldogs, and Dragons playing basically full-strength teams, and the Rabbitohs, Tigers, Roosters, Warriors, and Manly playing how-you-going teams, and just chucking a few boys out there on the roster and hoping for the best, really. Just hoping for the best. We're going to have to time you out for spamming. Please don't spam. You can just write whatever comment you want here on the chat, but please don't spam the chat. There's plenty of people here that obviously have their say as well. Preseason Cowboys looking too serious, mate. Titans might never lose a game ever again, though. Might never lose a game ever again. Yeah, all good. Preseason is where it's at. Cowboys might not get another opportunity like this in the regular season. 100% fact. Noel says, "Welcome back, chat. 2026. Boom. Yeah, we're back. We haven't missed a rugby league game so far, and we won't miss a single rugby league game all season long. So we're fired up." Olivia just landed in Doha. She's fired up for the Broncos next week on Friday morning, Thursday night over there in England. Hope the flight went well. Aspect says, "Will you give me try scorers for today, please? If it hits, I'll donate a 5." Brother, firstly, it's actually raining here in Napier, but firstly, please don't bet on the preseason. However, if I was to give you a try scorer bet for this game, I usually go a backline player and a forward player for both teams. I'll go with Leka Halasima in the centres. I think that's a bolter. Leka Halasima should score in the centres. He's got just such a big body, and he's going up against Clayton Faulalo and Blake Wilson. I think he's a great shout of getting a try. And then in the forwards, I'd be looking at a bit of maybe, you know what, let's go with the risky shout here. Let's go with Morgan Gannon. I'm not too sure about him, to be fair, but Aaron Clark's not necessarily a massive try scorer. Neither really is Kurt Catewell. Jackson Ford, not really. Dimitri Vaimalga, not really. Wade Egan, maybe a shout. I'm going to go with Morgan Gannon just as a little bit of a, hey, how you going, slap up of the back row there. So I'll go Morgan Gannon and Leka Halasima. And then for Manly, in the back row, I'm going to actually back in a little bit of Onatoni Large in the 5'8" position. I just feel like he may find his way over the line. I could go with an easier shout of like a Blake Wilson, but I'm going to go Onatoni Large there, just out of that 5'8" position. And then in the forwards, Manly's forwards this year really don't get you excited. I'm going to back in Simeone Laiafi It's just a shot in the dark, bro. Like, it's just a complete shot in the dark in regards to Manly's forwards. Simeone Leafi, Brandon Wakeham, Paul Bryan, Jackson Levi, Sherab Schmidt, Hugo Hart, and Corey Waddell. Corey Waddell's not scoring. If he does, then hats off to him. But outside of that, you just don't know anybody else besides Brandon Wakeham. And look, maybe Wakeham scores, but overall, the forward pack for Manly is just completely freshies. And that's why I would tip the Warriors to win this game today. It's just a complete freshie forward pack there from the Manly Seagulls. Draz says, I won't bet on the try scorers. I'm just do a double up type here and do under 52.5 and Manly to cover a 24.5 line as well as have a stronger team, but maybe closer game second half. Maybe, but, well, yesterday, to be fair, when you had the Cowboys play their fourth-string team for the first half against the Panthers team who didn't play anybody, literally anybody, they were up, 44-0, the Cowboys. 44-0 in the first half, and then the second half, it ended up being 66-6. Warriors fans would hate me for even saying that score. But 66-24. So the Panthers actually won the second half with those youngsters because it was 22 points for the Cowboys and 24 points for the Panthers. The Panthers actually won that second half by 2 points. 24-22. So, yeah, look, the trajectory is right. However, you've seen with the game so far, I do feel like we probably see... Yeah, under is pretty good, to be fair. Under is pretty good, but it'll be interesting. Like I said, Brandon Wakeham, the all-time GOAT, number 9, who is Cameron Smith. He's... I'll tell you what, he might be the greatest player of all time, Brandon Wakeham. I live right across from the park. I hear all of it. Well, you should have gone, mate. Tickets wouldn't have been too expensive. You should have gone. You wouldn't have gone. You should have gone. Random fun fact about Wakeham was the first ever 18th man to be activated and take the field back in 2021. Oh my gosh, Lagan. I can't believe that Channel 9 doesn't know about this. Have you let Fox League know? I know Buzz is retired now, but have you made sure that Buzz knows about this? Because that might be the most groundbreaking stat that I've ever heard in my life. Lagan, wow. Well, I don't know if I'll be able to sleep tonight. I do not know if I'll be able to sleep tonight after that knowledge. That is absolutely groundbreaking stuff from Lagan Ballsacks about he was the first ever 18th man to be activated and take the field back in 2021. Oh my gosh. Now we're really getting into the nitty gritty now, Lagan. Oh my gosh. Sean says, good morning, mate. Get ready, Sean. Ben says, well, in that case, good morning, Vietnam. Good afternoon, Australia. Tasmate says, the Sydney Roosters legend, Daly Cherry Evans playing. I don't think the Ches will play in any of these preseason games. It's a valid question, though, because obviously he's new to the team. I'm sure he'd play next week. But no, their halves are Hugo Savala and Toby Rodwell later on to know. Oh, you're talking about, are you making a joke at Manly's reference? Sorry, I thought you were talking about the Roosters game later. No, he's not playing for the Roosters later, and he's obviously not playing for the old Manly. The old Manly! Manly! Wait, what a chant that they got there at the stadium. Manly! Get around him. Draz says, Cows scored 66 but leaking 24 to a baby Panthers is worrying for a side that isn't renowned for defence. Sure, but again, the second half was a much weaker Cowboys team. So the second half was when the Cowboys had taken most of their big-time stars off, and you saw Scott Drinkwater in his polo looking fresh and showered up and ready to hit the town with like 20 minutes to go, which means that, yeah, he didn't come on for the second half. So don't read too heavily into that second half for the Cowboys' perspective, but also don't read too heavily into the first half of the Cowboys' perspective because the Panthers, they just didn't give a shit at any time of that game. You could tell, regardless of how young they were, regardless of how much fight they should have in their body to be playing rugby league and to be motivating for their career, they didn't look like they gave a shit yesterday whatsoever. Panthers were so disappointing, man. So it is raining here in Napier. Like I said, it's raining pretty poorly. Pretty poorly. Matt Sport says, I know Lachlan Ilias was the greatest player to ever play the game. I thought Lachlan Ilias was the greatest player to ever play the game. Well, if you go via his game on the Dolphins, then you might actually have that thought process. Cameron Smith, who? Tell you what, Lachlan Ilias is fired onto the scene. Daz, mate, can we not mention Brandon Wakeham in this chat, please? Reece Martin would be worse. Why? Brandon Wakeham is a Bulldogs legend, Daz, mate. He's an absolute Bulldogs legend. Absolute Bulldogs. Like, you think Terry Lamb? No. You think Hazem El Masri? No way. I'm thinking Brandon Wakeham when it comes to the Canterbury Bulldogs. Forget El Masri. Forget them, well, Terry Lamb. Forget Les Johns. Forget Benny Barber in his prime. We got Brandon Wakeham when you think about the Bulldogs. Now that's the real stuff. That's the real gig right there. Warriors running out onto the field here. Desmond says 80 years of Sea Eagles Rugby League, aka 80 years of not going to read that. Noel says easy game, guys, no injuries, up to wires. Well, look, I think you should win this game, but I will also remind everyone, it's the preseason. If you win, it's okay. If you lose, it's okay. You know, you're sweet. You move through, and you go, look, we'll be right. You know, the Roosters never take the preseason seriously. You saw how seriously the Panthers took it yesterday. You saw how seriously the Storm took it yesterday. It's the preseason. I can't even see your profile picture, mate. It's too small for mine. Oh, Ashley Klein is refereeing here. That's exciting. That's exciting. That's exciting. Yes, sir. Could be bad, Ben. I don't even know what it is. I can't even see it. But the kickoff has been made. It is from Manly to the Warriors. And the first run by Dimitri Vaimalga. Wow, he ran that ball back hard. And he'll bring this ball to, what, the 15? And it's a penalty already for the Warriors. Literally one tackle. And Manly give up the penalty. Literally one tackle. That was a real strong run back, however, from Dimitri Vaimalga. Now, guys, I will also say, throughout the preseason, when it's the regular season and we're streaming, I can easily name you every single player, and I can tell you exactly who's got the ball. I will have to continuously go back to the team list to make sure of player names and to make sure who's the one who's running the ball and who's the one who's actually making the big plays and scoring the tries and whatnot, because a lot of these guys are guys that we don't know and are getting their first opportunity. But Wade Egan here. He'll go to the right to Aaron Clark. Aaron Clark short ball into the line for Vaimalga. And Vaimalga is third tackle, 22 metres away from the line. And now the Warriors will be fourth tackle at the 15. Okay, yeah, I'll update this scoreboard so you can say the score. Jay is actually legitimately sleeping. It'd be way too early for him, mate. Way too early for him. Fifth tackle at the 5. Wade Egan, he will go out to the left, and that was just awful. That was awful from the Wars. Wade Egan passes it quickly to Luke Hansen, short side, but there was nothing on short side, and they just get locked down very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. There was absolutely no purpose to that. Well, there you go. The live score is updated. Second tackle for Manly, and they'll be at the 15. Highlanders getting around the Wars. Well, the Wars are playing at home today, so as you said last year, you only support the Warriors when they're at home and not away. Well, they're playing at home, mate, so you're able to support them today. Warriors 4-pack is low-key, very scary and intimidating. It can be. It should be better, actually, than what it actually has been. Mitchell Barnett's fantastic. Jackson Ford is very tough, can make a mistake, though. James Fisher-Harris, obviously, we know how good he is. Joey Walsh, that was a really good run until he pushed a pass, and now the Warriors will get the ball after a knock-on from Manly. That was a really poor pass there. It was a great run from Joey Walsh. Unfortunately, he just... Oh, and then there's a knock-on from the Warriors. So now it's going to be 0 tackle for Manly. That was 0 tackle for the Warriors. Now it's 0 tackle for Manly at the 40. Didn't save that. Well, I can ask the chat here, and we could, considering that we are a democracy, Highlanders, you know that you said it, and if I ask the chat here, I'm sure that they remember when you said that at the beginning of the season. So second tackle. Didn't Highlanders say that during the Warriors vs Broncos game last season? Correct, Mundos, Ben. Yes, correct, Mundos. Third tackle for Manly, and they're 8 metres away from the line. 8 metres away, third tackle. And it's going to be Brandon Wakeham. He'll go to the short side. Joe Walsh, short ball into the line. He's obviously liking these short balls here, Joe Walsh. He's running into the line and getting the short away. Oh, no way. That was not a good decision there on fourth tackle. And Joe Walsh will kick it straight into the boots of the Warriors player. And now the Warriors on first tackle get this ball to the 20. Mitchell says the NRL is way better when Brandon Wakeham is in it. You know, I think that we deserve a Medal of Honour for having to sit through Tigers fans' comment on this channel. I just feel like if you're a Tigers fan on this channel and you're commenting, I feel like Wade Egan's away here. Oh, tripped up just before the 40. 4 tackle. This is a good roll on in this set. Tanner Boyd, what can he do? He gives it off to Kurt Catewell. Catewell's 30 metres out. I feel like if we're having to sit here all season long with Tigers fans' comments like the NRL's way better when Brandon Wakeham is in it, we need a Medal of Honour, mate. And Manly drop the ball. Warriors here. Warriors. Try time. Knock on from Manly. And that is as easy as all days for Ali Leotawa. Try time for the Warriors. It's 4-0 with a kick to come. Medal Sports TV's NRL is way better when Ashley Klein is reffing. Yeah, that's a timeout worthy offence, that's a timeout worthy offence, Matt. You deserve the timeout for that. Yeah. We'll see you in 5 minutes, mate. That's absolutely horrific. The bro has just said that Ashley Klein is a great referee. That was too easy for Ali Leotal. Too easy. Lennox Wilson says, do you like Beauden Barrett? Yeah, I think Beauden Barrett's great, but not the same sport. We're talking about a different sport here. Casual, how could you not name every two... Okay, we're going to do this again, are we, Daz? We're going to do this again, are we? How could you not name every player Tuau Malie Mava Itawalau Patea will be the Dally M in 5 years. As someone said yesterday, Blocker will actually have a heart attack. Like, he will have a stroke trying to read out his name. He will have a stroke, Blocker. Like, I want to respect him by getting it right. That's why every time I see the name, I keep trying my best to actually pronounce it. Oh, Tanner Boyd is not going to take this kick here today. He's going to decide to fall for the kick, and it will stay 4-0. We'll stay 4-0. Good to see him being nice to Manly here and forfeiting the kick. No way. Tasman says Brandon Wakeham versus Wade Egan is about to feed families. Yeah, families are going to starve for a long time, mate. Can't believe you'd be looking for starving families. It'd be interesting. We don't need proof. This is a democracy-based channel where no one gets free speech, not even an opinion. Exactly right. Exactly right. Logan's starting to get it now. Brendan says Tanner never misses. Never does. That's why he decided to deliberately choose not to keep that ball, you know. Whatever you saw might have been AI, but Tanner Boyd decided not to keep because he just never misses. And it's a bit unfair on the rest of the NRL when you allow Tanner Boyd to continuously take kicks at goal when he's just never going to miss. So, yeah, look, it is what it is, mate. It is what it is. It's just to keep the comp fair and overall. I think Tanner misses. Tanner doesn't miss, Logan. No. We're watching the same game here. I saw Tanner Boyd walking back to the halfway point, and it's saying 4-0, so I'm just assuming that he obviously forfeited the kick. Like, let's be serious here. This is a serious channel, mate. Come on. Manly will grab this ball at the 5. Come on. Let's be serious. First tackle now at the 10. We've got to stop joking around here, mate. It's very serious. AI is a tricky one these days. Hard to tell. Very hard to tell, Brenton. You know, at least you're starting to get it, mate. Took you a while to get it last year, but now you're fully on board. Choo-choo. Get on the train. Third tackle for Manly. They're going to be 25 metres away from their own line. Brandon Wakeham gives it off to, I think that's Josh Felitti. I always can tell because of his haircut. Yeah, it is. Josh Felitti's hair is just something out of this world, mate. So you can kind of just tell who it is. Oh, that's a bad mistake from Manly. And they throw the ball over the sideline. So the Warriors are going to pick this ball up here at the 40. I want to ask Warriors fans here. Warriors fans here on the channel, get into the comment section. I want to ask you, where do you legitimately see your team this year? Try not to be biased, but also you can say whatever you want. Comment where you think your team will be this season. Because I have my concerns, but I could also easily see them actually do a bit better than last year too. But I would lean more so with my concerns as we currently speak. Skylar said, I think the Eagles are going to win this. I don't think so. Warriors have got a stronger lineup on paper. This is in New Zealand, and it's just a preseason game, so anyone can win it. And the Warriors are already up 4-0 and a chance to go up 10-0 any moment now with the Warriors being inside the attack in 20. Like I said, Sam Walker doesn't miss. I'm going to put my head up here and ask for the teacher to accept my question. And my question is, I'm pretty certain, is it true that a guy named BKRsport on the drums actually made him miss at Seabus Super Stadium? Yes, no, you're correct there. You're correct there. Yeah, no, you are right. He did make him miss. No, so I've quite literally seen him miss firsthand. Fit tackle for the Warriors, 3 metres out from the line. And they'll get it out to Tanner Boyd. Tanner Boyd, quick passing, and Warriors on fit tackle again. We'll get locked down at the 9. The fullback, Geronimo Doyle. Was he at the Dolphins? I feel like Geronimo Doyle was at the Finns. I feel like he was. Not a Warriors fan, but I have him 6-12. Well, that's a bit of a best of both worlds, isn't it? That's just a... they may make the top 8, they may not make the top 8. That's just like you've got every possibility covered. Yeah, I don't think they're a bottom 4 team by any means. I think that they've got it. That's a 6 again for Manly, and they'll beat the 40 metres on first tackle. I don't think they're a bottom 4 team by any means, and I don't think that they're a top 4 team by any means. If I was to come to head right now, someone asked me where I'd put them. Right this very second, it could be like this is such a hard year, man, because you've got your Storm, your Panthers, your Roosters, your Broncos, and then you've got to figure out a way for tackle for Manly at the 30 on the Warriors side of the field. 10 minutes gone here, guys. 30 minutes to go the first half. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. We're live for every single game this year of Rugby League. 1 second. Fit tackle at the 20. Joey Walsh. He'll kick this ball across. Decent kick, but the chase wasn't that great. And the Warriors... Wow, well done, Josh Felitti. Waited for him to grab the ball, grabs it, and then takes him over the sidelines. The Manly Seagulls will get an attack and set here, 10 metres out. So you've got your top 4, which should be teams like the Roosters, the Storm, the Panthers, and the Broncos, right? And then you've got to fit these teams into 4 for the 5 through 8 range. Raiders, Sharks, Rabbitohs, potentially Eels with Mitchell Moses, Warriors, Dolphins maybe. Doubt it, but Dolphins maybe. Anyway, it's like 5 or 6 there. And then obviously the Titans, the guaranteed number 1, so you've got to fit those into 3 spots. Second tackle now for Manly. They are literally 2 metres out, but they're literally over the try line. That is too easy. Too easy for Manly, and it's Paul Bryan. Paul Bryan with the try time is 4-4 with a hit to come. Benjamin says it's a Dolphins year. Don't know how much of a Dolphins year it is when they played nearly full strength against the Titans, who didn't play basically anybody the other day, and the Titans won 24-12 on Thursday. It's going to be very difficult for me to believe in the Dolphins right now, mate. It's going to be a bit difficult for me to believe in them. It says I have Manly finishing in the top 17. I know there's so many people who are off Manly right now. Like there is a large general consensus that are saying Manly are in the bottom 2-3, and I find that ludicrous. I don't think that they're bad enough for that. I could see a world that could go down there, but I don't think so. I definitely would have Manly out of the 8 right this very second, but them people putting Manly in last is wild to me. They've never won a wooden spoon for starters, but they are in a bit of trouble in regards to their team, and it all comes down to guys like Anthony Seibold at the top. Daz, mate, if they lost Haas this year, I'd have agreed. A Broncos will miss the top 4, Daz says. I don't think so, mate. I think, you look at their team, 2027, yes, I'll agree with you. 2026, no, I'll disagree with you. 2027, Payne Haas will be gone. Adam Reynolds will be gone. They have a new player in Jonah Pezzett coming into the halfback role. Ben Hunt will be on the outer. I just feel like there's a lot of changes happening from 2027 onwards with the Broncos. So 2027, I'll go with you. But for the time being, I'll say that they're still top 4 this year. So I might be one of the only few who doesn't bite into the Dolphins hype. Like I can see them 6-8, but not this minor premiership talk from pundits. I don't have them making the top 8. I've said this to you guys though. Their defense is atrocious. Their defense is atrocious. People just look at the hype. People who bet and 100% guarantee themselves behind the Dolphins are insane. Because if you've watched the Dolphins play all year long last year, so Manly ball here at the 20 at 6-4 Manly with 28 minutes to go in the first half. Anyone who watched the Dolphins last year and has this innate belief that they are now a top 8 team and they are now a top 4 team is off their rocker. Could they do it? Sure. But to go all in on them for mine is just out of this world because their defense is putrid. They were winning games like 36-30 at points in the back end of last year, And they were losing games, scoring 30 points as well and scoring 28 points. The Dolphins' defense didn't look anywhere near improved with a close enough full strength but not completely, but close enough full strength in that game against the Titans on Thursday. No defensive improvement there whatsoever. So I don't see how people have just forgotten about the defensive woes of Redcliffe and they're just focusing on the attack. But the defense is horrific. It is really that bad. Yeah, okay, Cowboys won 66, Panthers 24, but contextually, Cowboys played a full-strength team, Panthers played absolutely nobody. Not a single player in that Panthers team will play for the Panthers this year on a consistent basis. Fifth tackle now for the Warriors, and they will be at the 40. If you look as well, last year, aside from the Storm, once the other games that scored points were versus depleted sides, like they even struggled to beat a depleted Wars team. That's right, I remember that game. Yeah, I do remember that game. That was over in New Zealand. So there's an injury here for... Is this Dimitri Vaimalga? It's shoulder to the head, but it's not really like a... Shouldn't be a penalty. I know that if you're not watching the game, you'd feel like, oh, well, it's a shoulder to the head. Surely it's a penalty here. But it's not really like that. I don't know how to explain it to you. It's not a penalty, but I think that's what he's complaining about. Warriors kick this ball to the 11, and it will be a good take. That will be a good take for the number 5 here from Manly, which is Navran Millet. Are you a Warriors fan? No, I'm a Titans fan. But that will be a penalty to Manly. Penalty, Manly. Are people overestimating the Fogarty loss of the Raiders? Like Solid Harper, people expect them to push over. Well, they don't have a halfback otherwise, really. Ethan Sanders is the only guy that they've got, and Kobe Black, but Kobe Black is extremely young, and Ethan Sanders is extremely young, and Ethan Strange is enigmatic and really good, and I love him. It was the 5'8" of the year last year, but the halfback, Fogarty was a stabiliser. They don't have a stabiliser now, so will those halves work out when they don't have the stabiliser? No, I don't have Sharks making the grand final. So Vaimalga's going to have to come off the field here for the Warriors. Vaimalga will have to come off the field for the Warriors. 15 minutes gone here. Joey Walsh and now Manly will be 45 metres out from their own line. Daz, as a Bulldogs fan, surely you've got to be a little bit concerned about if your team can continue with this push that you have had over the last couple of years. Manly at the 35 on 4 tackle. Who's your biggest smoky to win the comp this year, Matt? It's the Titans, mate. No, look, realistically, biggest smoky to win the comp this year. Jeez. I don't even know what to say here, really. 1 second. Manly, no, it's going to be a mistake. I don't know who's the smoky to win it. I really don't. I guess a smoky, if everything goes right for the Rabbitohs, then you'd start looking towards them. If everything goes right for the Rabbitohs, they need literally everything to go right, but their halves is my biggest concern. Outside of that, they've got a good team. But if everything goes right for the Rabbitohs, then they are the smoky, yeah. So second tackle now for the Warriors, and they're going to be coming off their own line here. They're 20 metres out from their own line. Second tackle, Wade Egan, then gives off to Jackson Ford. They push off, get the offload away. Can't get the offload away. Good defense, Manly. Angie Ray's Warriors have it this year, buddy. Oh, yeah, Angie, you've definitely heard that before. Heard that every year, haven't I? Maybe this year, maybe next year. That's definitely Warriors. That's definitely a Warriors thing to say. I think you guys need to copyright that before Parramatta do. One of you should copyright it and trademark it. It's between the Warriors and Eels. Whoever gets there first, go for gold. Warriors have it this year, do they? So the third tackle for the Warriors, the 50. They get Tanner Boyd. Tanner Boyd into the line for Kurt Catewell, and Kurt Catewell will get to the 42. How's my Raiders doing then? Why are you a Raiders fan, Harrison? Why? You're English and you've chosen Canberra. Why? Is it because it's cold in Canberra? Why have you chosen Canberra? What happened? Have the faith, Angie. Come on, Angie. We've got everyone's got the faith. Everyone. Oh, that's gonna be. I think a knock on here from Manly. No, it's actually just gonna be knocked back from the Warriors. Duraz says, Blaze, to be fair, a lot of English players play for the Raiders. Harrison doesn't know that. Harrison doesn't know anything about that. I don't know why Harrison's going with the Raiders. I know he's English, but he doesn't even know that a lot of English players play for the Raiders. Harrison's first team I saw, and now I've picked it for life. I'm so sorry, Harrison. You could have had the beautiful beaches of the Gold Coast. You could have had the amazing country of New Zealand. You could have had Cronulla with the beautiful beaches as well. But instead, you've chosen Canberra. But it makes sense as an Englishman. It does. It makes sense as an Englishman. There's going to be a mistake here from Manly at the 30s. The Warriors are going to get an attacking opportunity here. Skylar says, I'm from the USA, first year watching. Well, you can join the Gold Coast Titans train. There you go. Choo choo. Everyone knows the Titans are always going to win this year. They're going to go undefeated. Everyone knows it. Warriors fans, don't you start arcing up because you know that you shouldn't be talking shit about our team. For some reason, we just always beat the Warriors. Even we can talk about 2024 if you want to do it. Don't you talk smack. Don't you talk smack about the Titans who will go undefeated this year. So the Warriors, Australia is false as Titans win. Titans win, they do. I'm going to ignore the last three things he said there and ha ha ha. But Titans win. You're right. Australia is full. You're right. So second tackle. And now Tanner Boyd, the 15, out to Hansen. I think that's going to be knocked backwards. That's going to be fine. I don't think it's a 6 again, though. Oh, they are calling 6 again. He actually climbed back to his absolute enigmatic best. 10 metres away. Harrison says, is the whole of Australia not a Gold Coast? No, mate. No. Canberra's not on the coastline, for starters. Canberra's inland, mate. Canberra is not on the coastline, champion. Aaron Clark, short ball into the line. Jackson Ford. Oh, dropout coming up, I think. I think it's a dropout coming up. No, it's a knock-on from the Warriors. So Manly will get the ball, I think, at the 20. I agree with Tanner arcing up here. I thought that was just dropped at the back from the Warriors. And then, yeah, they're going to challenge this. And then it's going to be, I feel like, a dropout. To be fair, though, with this going for a dropout slash 7 tackle set kind of deal, I thought the bunker automatically reviews that. So why do the Warriors need to use a challenge here? Because they usually review everything that's around it. So that goes back from Jackson Ford. Oh, it's touched by a Manly hand here. Yeah, this should be Warriors ball at the 10. Because, but you're not going to see the angle there. That's not off Tanner Boyd's hand. I don't think, anyway. I don't think that actually... This is hard to call this, actually. We need to see the other angle, because these angles aren't going to show it from over here. That's off Wilson, so... This angle is the one that surely shows it. I don't know if you can overturn the on-field referee here. Inconclusive evidence, yeah. So they keep the challenge, but the on-field ruling will stand. I agree with the call here. Lagan says, Blake, can you please enlighten us on what happened in 2024? Yeah, no, I can enlighten you what happened in 2024. We won a game 66-6. Good score that. Wow. Fantastic score that. So it's going to be Manly who get the ball here at the 10 because of the inconclusive call. Benson, I'm sorry, Harrison. Out of all the teams to pick in the NRL, the first team you happened to see was Canberra, which is known for its cold weather. I'm sorry, coincidence? I think not. No, Harrison's just jumping on the bandwagon of a team that he saw in first place last year, but doesn't realise that they're not an easy team to support. The Canberra Raiders are not an easy team to support. Then again, Harrison supports England in cricket, so they're not an easy team to support. So he's all used to that. All the English play for Canberra. Yeah, what have they got? Morgan Smithies. They've got Matty Nicholson. I said that Georgie Williams a couple of years back. They had plenty of English players held Canberra. It's because it's cold. Manly, good run on a longie. Great run. And now Manly, quick play the ball, brings it to 45. 20 minutes gone here in the first half, guys. 20 minutes to go. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. Now kick this ball straight down the centre, and it's going to be Geronimo Doyle. Can someone please confirm for me whether Geronimo Doyle played for the Dolphins or not? I swear he did, eh? What was Oz versus South Africa result? Do you realise that South Africa and Zimbabwe are two different teams, Harrison? Do you realise that Zimbabwe is its own country? South Africa and Zimbabwe are not the same country, and I can definitely tell you Australia's not there either. But also, then I just go back and say, what about the West Indies result? And then I just go back and say that, well, what about the Ashes? Then I go back and say, what about the Rugby League Ashes? First tackle here for the Warriors. They get a 6 again. The most you can score in one possession is actually arguably 8 points, but that's very, very unlikely. That's going to be a penalty here for a high tackle against the Manly Seagulls. The Warriors are going to get a great attacking opportunity here. The highest amount of points you can score in one possession is actually technically 8 points. Because if you score a try and then you convert that try, but you also receive the penalty try, you then get another conversion to make it 8. Usually you won't see that. You see that maybe once or even twice a year, but specifically, you're lucky to see it a year, to be honest with you. But technically 8 points is the highest amount you can get. Second tackle now, 8 metres away from the line. What if Manly can hold out this would be spectacular work from them. Third tackle for the Warriors, 3 metres away. Wade Egan, Tanner Boyd, oh no, it's a knock on from Manly. Very lucky though, because it nearly was an intercept. If he doesn't put his hands out there and stop that ball from getting out wide, 100% that was a Warriors try. So regardless of it being a knock on, he's very glad that he got his hands to that. He should have caught that, to be fair. He really should have caught that. He should have got it. Harrison's giving me a headache. Harrison's always giving headaches. Harrison's always... What the hell? On my Instagram, you guys should follow if you're not already on BKRsport. It's a knock on from the Warriors on the very first tackle. I just had someone who I know who doesn't know anything about the game has just spammed the dolphin emoji on my most recent Instagram post. What's going on here, lads? What are we doing? That's why T20 is so good, exposes good teams. We've got a whole injured lineup here, mate. We've got so many players out of this World Cup. Now, we're not going to do anything in this World Cup. But you guys get a full strength, and you guys aren't doing jack. So that's going to be... Anyway, we're not talking cricket here. We're talking rugby league. We'll talk cricket tonight on New Zealand versus South Africa. For the time being, we've got 4 NRL games to get through. So we'll talk cricket later on. But that is New Zealand versus South Africa, which will be a big game. 17 minutes left of the first half. Manly coming out of their own end. And they bring it off to the 20 on first tackle. Could have had the beautiful river of Brisbane. So, Matt, not sure if I'd say the river of Brisbane is beautiful. No. It's about as beautiful as the fresh water of South Bank. Don't know if I'd say that the water of Brisbane is the river of Brisbane is beautiful. No. Third tackle here for Manly. They'll be at their own 40. Who's trying to build a Penrith-like system? Did they just say the Warriors are trying to build a Penrith-like system? Okay, fair enough. Shouldn't everyone be, though? Shouldn't everyone be trying to emulate, to be fair? Fit tackle. And Large will kick that ball to the 10. And too easy of a grab there for the Warriors. And Manly will keep them down here 12 metres out. First tackle. This game's gone into a massive grind. The under is looking pretty decent, to be fair. Halasima hasn't really had too much to do with the ball today. Geronimo Doyle will get the ball to the 30 on third tackle. Wade Egan, now they'll be at the 40 on fourth tackle. Australia says, I was born in Brisbane. The river looks like shit. Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Like I said, the river in Brisbane is about as good as the fresh water of South Bank. You know, it's spectacular stuff there. River City, well, it's Sewerage City then, apparently. So Manly will get this ball at the 15 and bring it out to the 25 on first tackle. Are we going to see another try in this first half right now? Neither team, like Warriors had a prime opportunity, a whole fresh set of 6, 20 metres out, 15 metres out, and they knocked the ball on first tackle. I do remember this game from last year. I was actually fully expecting, I think it was the last game of the regular season, Warriors played Manly. There's a knock on from Manly, so Warriors would get the ball here 35 metres away. But I remember it was Manly Warriors, I think the last game of the season, and Warriors needed to win just to get some passion back into their team, some oomph back into the team after a long period where they were struggling and really not looking like the team that they were the first half of the year. It took them so long, and we thought maybe this was a chance here for them to sneak a win and put themselves back in the good books of the NRL. And then I think that was the Cherry Evans field goal game, and Manly had nothing to play for. Like we'd already seen, I think it was the Roosters or whoever win the night before, so Manly had literally nothing to play for, and Manly went and won. Manly went and won. So second tackle at 25. Warriors were so frustrating to watch last year, man. Oh, and there's a knock on from the Warriors on second tackle, and Manly will bring this ball 0 tackle to the 25. You've had your opportunities here, Warriors, but you just keep knocking the ball on, just like Manly do. Wasn't that the game where DC let the ball bounce, the Wars first try? Yes, that was the game. Yeah, it was such a frustrating game because, honestly, Manly looked horrific in so many parts last year, and that back end of the year. They just looked so poor, but the Warriors, they just found a way. Oh, it's a knock on from Manly. Oh, no, guys, this is going to be a dribbler. This is going to be a dribbler right now. The Warriors just found a way to make them look prime time. Yeah, that was the embarrassing. Was it? Yeah, it was Cherry Evans who just let the ball bounce. That's right. No, so this looks similar to last year's team. What, for the Warriors? No, there's still a few players who aren't here. There's still quite a few players who aren't here. Guys like Chance, Tamani Martin, Luke Metcalf, Mitchell Barnett, James Fisher-Harris. You know, there's still plenty of guys here. Rocco Berry, Alofiana Khan Pereira, new signing. I'm sure he'll play next week. Hold ball need, Mitchell. Hold ball definitely need here. So second tackle for Tanner Stowers-Smith. And Wade Egan off to Tanner Boyd. Good running. And Geronimo Doyle will be taken down at the 13. Josh Felidi's been good on the defense today. Tanner Boyd, Gannon. And Gannon's 5 metres away from the line. Ball must be wet. Well, it is raining. However, both these teams did this a lot last year, to be fair. Fit tackle. Warriors not exactly known to be playing in the wet. They're not exactly a great team wet-wise. Tanner Boyd, fit tackle, short ball to the line. Their fit tackle options today, the Warriors, have been pretty disappointing. And Manly, once again, will hold them up. And it's going to be 2 metres out from their own line here, Manly. Well, they're going to get an extra couple metres there because he just walked off of the mark. But the referee, Ashley Klein, is too busy oiling up his head to realise that he walked 2 metres off the mark. Second tackle, and they get the ball to the 20. 12 minutes left here. Ball must be wet, but they're still professional players here, man. This many knock-ons isn't acceptable. A knock-on here or there, sure, but we're seeing like a knock-on per set at this point, nearly. In the last few moments, for sure. Is that a 40-20 attempt here from Brendan Wakeham? Has gone out in the full. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely horrific from Brendan Wakeham. That is... That is absolutely horrific from Brandon Wakeham. He's kicked the ball out in the full from his own 38. He's going for a 40-20 on third tackle from inside his own 40 and then kicks the ball out in the full. But like out in the full around the 45, so nowhere close. Oh, another knock on from the Warriors. Oh, it's been set for set, which is poor play here from both these teams at the moment. 30 minutes gone, 10 minutes to go the first half, 30 minutes gone. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. We've got 3 games today. And Well, arguably, that's actually a penalty. Because Wakeham can't make that play. But Ashley Klein will call it as a knock-on. Knock on here, knock on there, and knock on everywhere. Yeah, but he can't swap at the arms like that. So Manly at the 30. There is absolutely no rhythm to this. What's up with these trims? Are you talking about the player's hair? Are you talking about Josh Felitti? Oh, bro. Yeah, his hair's something. It's funny, though, like, if you're talking about, like, haircuts, the most interesting haircuts that you'll find are probably from guys in Melbourne. Victorian, if you look at AFL specifically, you get a lot more of the mullets. So you've actually been watching the Rugby League, Jacko. You've actually been getting into it, have you? Right hand side, Manly at the 30. You're watching the preseason, though. You're not, just remember you're not watching actually the main stars just yet. JFR Money says, so what a game, huh? Atrocious. Yeah, but it's preseason, bro. This is what happens. Errors both ends. Oh, ridiculous, no. Ridiculous, but luckily it's just preseason. Joey Walsh puts that ball up into the corner. They knocked his ball back here, Manly, and I think they're going to score. They will score a try here, Manly. Out of nowhere, the Manly Seagulls are going to get a try. And who is this who scores? I don't know who scores this. Number 15 for Manly. Number 15 for Manly is Hugo Hart. Hugo Hart. Oh, Jacko, he's gone all in. I paid 150 quid for Watch NRL year membership. Yeah, I love it. He's all in. Yeah, no, well, it will get mental this year, mate. It will get mental. Deary me. Yeah, it makes sense. Has just seen an Oz football guide. This sport is jokes. Oh, he's from Nudgeo. Fair enough. Just seen an Oz football guide. What do you mean Oz football guide? What's happening? Jazz Jacko will love to see it. Yeah, but you'll love when you find out who his team is now, Jared. He's an Englishman who subscribed from the Ashes streams, and we got him into rugby league, and you'll love who he supports. You'll love who he supports. Mitchell says, pass the ball to Nathan Brown, you cats. I don't even think Nathan Brown's in this game, is he? Didn't he retire? Is Nathan Brown still here? Didn't he retire? I swear he retired like 2 years ago, didn't he? So 12-4 to Manly with 8 minutes to go in the first half. Who's the one with the dyed hair? Again, bro, most of these guys you won't see play this year. But I'll look to see who the one with the dyed hair is. Are you talking from the Warriors or from Manly? The Warriors are the team in the green and the dark blue. Manly the one in the white and the maroon. Which team are you talking about here with the dyed hair? Okay, not there, not there. Dyed hair. I don't know who he's talking about. I'm not too sure right now. He has not retired, you clown. Well, I'm asking a question, Mitchell. I swear he retired like a couple of years ago. We're talking about the same Nathan Brown here? The one who was at the Eels and Manly and probably bloody Blacktown Rovers? Like, what's happened? Warriors fullback? Warriors fullback? Warriors fullback is Geronimo Doyle. Oh, you're talking about with the coloured hair now. Oh, okay. I was going I thought you were trying to say that Nathan Brown is the Warriors fullback. If Nathan Brown ever played fullback for an NRL club, that'd do me. I would be done. I'd be moving to Tajikistan to become a cow farmer. That would do me if Nathan Brown was ever a fullback. Sky Sports is messed up. Lick the lens. Lick the lens? I don't know what's happening there. He's still at Manly. Fair enough. Fair enough. So third tackle for the Warriors, and they're going to be at the 45. Off-season sign I didn't expect. Yeah, Nathan Brown to fullback for the Warriors. You heard it here first. Oh, the Warriors will knock the ball on. And Manly at the 35, now 45, they will get 0 tackle. I reckon you should re-sign Anthony Seibold for 10 years after this first half performance, Manly. Sign him up. So, Jacko, you're talking about Geronimo Doyle for the Warriors. I believe he was originally at the Dolphins, and now he's at the Warriors. He won't play for the Warriors this year. Oh! Slap of a hit. Blake Metcalf will be absolutely levelled in a tackle there by Hazen Mellars. Levelled him. Third tackle now. Third tackle. And they bring us out to the 25. Over the top from Joe Walsh. Good pass. Good pass. Blake Wilson inside. Try time. Manly. Try time for Manly. That was a really nice play. And Clayton Faulalo will on. Okay, we're back on. I don't know if you heard what I was saying, but I'm just saying you'd definitely be questioning the pass on that try. It's just pre-season, so a bit of whatever, but at the end of the day, that call will get made in the NRL, and I would definitely say the pass from Blake Wilson back into Clayton Faulalo just then was about 10 years forward. About 10 years forward. Good play from Manly, good start. Was good, but again, I think that Blake Wilson passes that ball forward to Clayton Faulalo on the inside. Yeah, I couldn't tell you the last time the Warriors completed a set, mate. It's been awful. And they will miss the kick off the post. It will say 16-4, so still a 12-point game. The Dingoes is questionable ball, but I'll take it. Impressed by youngsters against a stronger Wires team so far. I don't even know if it's questionable. I think it's pretty obviously forward. Let's have a look at this again. Yeah, it's look, I'll give you questionable. It's pre-season, mate. Obviously, I'd be a bit more up in arms and I'd be fired up a little bit more if this was the regular season. But it's the pre-season, so a bit of whatever there with the pass. I think, Manly have done well here. I call Joey Walsh as my breakout star of the year for Manly, so I'm not surprised with how well Joey Walsh has played. And then the rest, like Blake Wilson, that was solid. I think Josh Felidi's been very good defensively for the Manly Sea Eagles. He's been rushing out of the line well and making some really crucial tackles. Tony Large has been pretty solid overall. I haven't minded Large at all. Paul Bryan obviously with that try before, but overall this has been a pretty good game here from Manly against a Warriors team that does have a stronger team on paper. I couldn't really point out a really poor player in today's game from Manly's perspective. For Warriors, I couldn't really point out a guy who's taken a leap. I couldn't really say who's someone who's had a massive game here. It's been a really underwhelming game from the Warriors' perspective. They haven't got any consistency at all here. Geronimo Doyle, luckily, will grab that ball at the 5, though. First tackle. Chaka says Super Bowl was last week. That was more of a touchdown. Yeah, no, that was definitely forward pass. That was definitely Tom Brady-esque. Ben says, Harrison, no, the sport doesn't have flying brooms from what we know. What are we talking about Quidditch here? What's happening Quidditch? And it'll be a penalty for the Warriors. Coming out of their own 20. Jared says, pre-season, good to get these knock-ons and errors out of the way now since it's just dusting off the cobwebs before round 1. Who do the Warriors play in round 1? Who do you lot play round 1? You have got the Roosters. Wow, that's a tough start. That is a tough start. We've got some really good games round 1, man. Like, forget Vegas Knights Cowboys, but Bulldogs Dragons should be a decent battle. Storm Eels will be a good battle. Warriors Roosters will be a great battle. Broncos Panthers is just unbelievable. Sharks Titans are going to win a comp. Manly Raiders, they'll be a pretty good game between Jamal Fogarty leaving Manly So Jamal Fogarty leaving the Raiders to go to Manly. Cherry Evans leaving Manly to go to the Roosters. And the Raiders now not knowing where their halves are, but they've got a better team overall. And Dolphins, Rabbitohs, that could be spicy. And then the game of the round, Tigers versus the Bye. How good's that? Warriors now, they're 20 metres away from the line. Fit tackle, 1 minute 40 to go here the first half. 1 minute 40 to go. Give it to Hansen. Kicks to the edge. Up it goes. Oh, the Warriors will score. Bang, baby. Ali Leotawa. By the way, my brain just had like a blackout for a 0.01 of a second. How did Ali Leotawa get this ball? Because I swear that the Manly winger had this one locked up. I swear the Manly player had this one easy. There's a tall bloke out there. How did he just must have dropped that, because he had that ball for all money. The number 5 for Manly has just dropped that ball straight into the hey diddle diddle lap of Ali Leotawa. Number 5 for Manly is, tall boy, Navran Millett. That was his for all money. It just goes straight into the hands. Has Geronimo scored? Geronimo has not scored. It has just been Ali Leotawa both times for the Warriors. For the Manly Seagulls, it's been Paul Bryan, Hugo Hart, and Clayton Fa'alalo. 28 seconds to go here. The Warriors, they get this kick because Tanner doesn't miss. They're only down by 6. Only down by 6. Then Ingo says, last year I got to the point where I became indifferent to the bad calls. Whether it was for or against my team, I had accepted there would be multiple in every game. Yeah, no, I agree. Shrey's Full says, Titans will the 100,000 and call it a year. So this is where you're wrong, Australia. When the Titans win the 100k, not only are they going to go to Jupiter's, right? They're going to have a party. They're going to go to Jupiter's. But then after they have the party at Jupiter's, they're going to go down to the casino. And they're going to chuck that 100k on 28 black. They get the kick here. It's 16-10. 28 black. It's going to land on 28 black. They're going to get, what is it, 36 to 1 or whatever odds it is, 3.6 million. And then they're going to chuck that down on 4. And then the 4 is going to come off. And then the Titans are going to be so rich, so wealthy from their preseason money they won, that they're going to go and sign everybody. And then from there, we're going to buy everybody. And then you're not even going to have any teams to play. And then we're going undefeated for the rest of the season because we're going to say, you can't play this game because we actually own you. We have the rights to you. And that's what happens when you get that kind of money from the Jupiter's Casino on the Gold Coast. So, look, you've got to start thinking about these kind of things. You've got to start opening the perspective to the world of what's going to happen when we win this preseason. And understand a little bit more truthfully. This is a realistic and serious channel here, mate. You've got to really start to understand the possibilities the world are going to bestow upon the Gold Coast Titans in 2026. But anyway, it is halftime. It is 16-10 to the Manly Seagulls. The Warriors will score right before halftime through Ali Leotawa. He's got a try in the 4th minute and a try in the 38th minute, and Manly have Paul Bryan, Hugo Horton, Clayton Fa'alalo scoring. Now let's run through these stats here at halftime, guys. Do me a favour, hit that like button and subscribe if you love your rugby league. We are literally here for every single game in 2026, every single one, regardless of who's playing. Plus, we've also got the cricket. We'll be here for the T20 World Cup game tonight, New Zealand versus South Africa. But okay, let's get into these stats. So, halftime 16-10. Possession is 53% to Manly, 47% to the Warriors. I also want to clarify before we get to these stats are actually relatively pointless. So I'm going to just, in the regular season, guys, I'm going to give you the full reading. I'm going to give you the full reading of the stats and what you should be expecting. I'm just going to do skims of the stats in the preseason because we're going to see a completely different team in the second half to what we've seen in the first half. So reading the stats as a comparison and an understanding for the second half is kind of pointless here because they will play a whole bunch of reserves for both the Warriors and for Manly, and we will see two different teams have a completely different half. So when I tell you these stats here, don't take it as gospel as what's going to happen for the second half, or don't take too much of a reading of it. You can do that in the regular season, and you can have a good idea about how this game trajectory looks and what we're seeing going forward and who's looking the worst, because you've got the same players playing first half as you do the second half. But in the preseason, it's very, very different. So that's why we'll just skim through them, right? So 53% to Manly, 47% here to the Warriors. 14 minutes time possession for Manly, 12 minutes for the Warriors. That's 26 minutes overall. You're a minute above the basis of 25 that you're looking for. Completion rate is pathetic here for both teams, but especially for Manly. I'm actually surprised because I thought the Warriors had a worse completion rate. 73%, 19 from 26 for the Warriors. 80% is the bare minimum that you're looking for. They're at 73%, so that's not good. But Manly, 61%. 61% here with a 13 from 21. That's just not great at all. Yeah, look, Australia's full sorry, I missed the bigger picture. You got to start thinking about the big picture, mate. You're thinking down here, we're thinking here. You're here, we're thinking here. Got to start thinking about the bigger picture. 61% for Manly is putrid, 13 from 21, so they need to update completion rate massively. Runs wise, only 5 separating them. 81 runs for the Warriors, 86 runs for Manly, with 634 run meters for the Warriors, 685 run meters there for Manly. So without going in depth into this, ultimately they're pretty much at the same. If you give those 4 extra runs to the Warriors, they're pretty much around to where the Manly Seagulls are, so it's pretty even in regards to run meters. Funnily enough, though, with 4 or 5 less runs, because it will update at half time, they're actually 20 more post-contact meters above Manly. 234 for the Warriors, 216 here for Manly. So basically 20 there with now 6 less runs. That's really good there for the Warriors. Line breaks 2-0 Manly, so it doesn't look like the Warriors are going to be getting any line break bonus point here today. By the way, if you don't remember, 5 plus tries for 1 bonus point, 10 plus offloads for 1 bonus point, and 5 plus line breaks for 1 bonus point, plus the win is 12 points. They're on 0. So forget that. Manly need 3 line breaks for a bonus point, and you can get those bonus points even in a loss, right? So you just remember that. Then you got the tackle breaks of 18-12, Warriors way. Average set distance, I do have to read this out. 25 and under is turn the stream off, and we saw that yesterday with the Panthers. 25 to 30 is disgusting. 30 to 35 is underwhelming. 35 to 40 is hitting the marker. 40 to 45 is great. 45 to 50 is fantastic, and 50 plus is basically perfect. The average set distance for the Warriors is 25.58 right now. That is extreme low end of underwhelming. Disgusting, sorry. It's close enough to turn the stream off worthy. 25.58 is really, really bad. Whilst Manly, whilst not exceptional here at 34.94, they're not in the bare basic minimum for an average of 35. They're only 0.06 away from it, so they're extreme high end of an underwhelming category, but that is 9 full meters above where the Warriors are at. Now it's 10, they're in 35.16. So 25.58 now it's down to 33.56. So now it's 8 meters. Regardless, Manly are killing the average set distance comparatively speaking, but both teams are underwhelming / disgusting in regards to the actual meters that they are making. But weather is going to do that. Play the ball speed for the Warriors is wild fast. 2.95 seconds is 0.25 seconds behind, in front, of the extremely fast category. That's how good that is. 3.2 seconds is still fast for Manly. Offloads 3 for Manly, 2 for the Warriors. I don't see either team getting a bonus point there. Defensively, Warriors really good, 91%. 182 tackles made for 12 missed tackles and 6 ineffective. Manly, 88.04%. It's hitting the marker. It's okay at 88. 162 for tackles made for 19 missed tackles and 3 ineffective. And then negative play. The errors here, just yikes. The errors here are just yikes here, guys. 3 and under is great. 4 to 6 is average. 7 and above is awful. Warriors are at 8. Manly are at 12. 12 errors for Manly is insane for a first half. That is insane. Last year, there was one game where the Cowboys had 23 or 24 errors or whatever. Outside of that, the record was 17 in the regular season. Outside of that one game for the Cowboys against, I think it was the Knights. Both those teams had a ridiculous amount of errors. Cowboys had like 23 errors. Outside of that, everybody else was always getting 17 errors. They are 5 errors away from a full game's worth of errors as the maximum that we saw last year. That's awful. Penalties conceded is 3-1 Manly, and ruck infringements is 3-1 Manly. So Manly, ill-disciplined, a lot of errors. The score is good for them considering it's a bunch of young blokes playing here, but there's a lot of improvement to be seen. There is a lot of damn well improvement to be seen. Hold on a second here. 3:30 p.m. it says Tigers versus Roosters start. So that would be... It says 2 p.m. 3:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's 3:30 p.m. would be 11:30 my time. It can't be. It can't start at 3:30 because that would be when this game's still going. It can't be. It doesn't start till 11:50 a.m. my time, so 3:50. Anyway, sorry, I was just focused on the timing there. Anyway, long story short, guys, that's the stats at half time. Things will change in the second half, so... wow, the errors just in this game have been absolutely ludicrous. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Jared says, hoping for a good year for Leotau. Dude is solid, but just a bad injury run last year for him. Yep. Vapor says, who scored? The try scorers in this game is Ali Leotau twice for the Warriors. For Manly, Paul Bryan, Hugo Hart, and Clayton Fawalalo. Ben says, yikes was. The first half errors in total is smashing. Oh my gosh. Dude, 19 first half errors in total. No, sorry, I think it's 20, isn't it? I think it was 20. Hold on. Let me go make sure. Was it 8 errors for the Warriors again? Yeah, 8 errors. So 20 errors in the first half. Guys, in the first half of that game, we saw an error every 2 minutes. An error for half of the game right now. For half of the game. Marcus says, how will AFP will fit in the WAR system? AFP? Do you mean AKP? Alofiana Camprera? Well, he'll fit on the wing. That's where he'll fit. That's where he'll fit. Harris says, really embarrassed, actually. I got to leave. Yeah, because, you thought this was a whole different sport, mate. This is rugby league, mate, not AFL. This is a completely different sport. Guys, I'm going to go grab a Coke Zero. We're going to be here for literally 5 games today. We've got 4 NRL games and 3 games right after this. So I'm going to go run and grab a Coke Zero. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. I'll be back in a moment. And we're back. Okay, we are back. Sorry, what I was saying was in regards to Loffy, speed is obviously his factor, is what Noel has said. The problem with Loffy, so he's very good on the attack, he's very speedy. His problem is defense, but the positive that I think for him this year, and I called Rocco Berry my breakout this year from the Warriors, the positive with Loffy is that I think he's going to be alongside Rocco, and what Loffy lacks in his defense, but what Rocco excels in is defense, and what Rocco lacks in is attack, and what Loffy excels in is attack. So hopefully we're going to see... It's more beneficial to Loffy's game defensively than it is to Rocco's game attacking-wise, because Rocco will always receive the ball before it gets to Loffy. But defensively, Rocco knows what he's doing for the most part, and will be able to keep Loffy more so in line to know exactly what he needs to do and where he needs to be. Attacking-wise, Rocco's assist game, hopefully he passes the ball out there a heap, and hopefully he gets the ball to him a whole bunch, but... it still is a little bit on Rocco to unleash what Loffy can achieve. Durant says, AKP has an insane strike rate already so far. I think he just touched 50 games or close to it. He is a very prolific try scorer. He's very speedy and he knows exactly what to do when that ball comes to him and he's got open space. God help us. He's just so fast and he will score. But the issue is that when he does catch the ball, as a winger and has to make those hard carries back in, he's not like a Brian To'o. He will sometimes lose meters. He's not fantastic in regards to the contact there. So he is just like a boom or bust where he booms on the attack, but has been a bust defensively. But at least Rocket Berry can improve that and bring it in for him. Shatij, get around it, mate. Massive day here. We've got 4 NRL streams into New Zealand, South Africa later on tonight. But that is not an encouragement to talk about cricket right now. Duraz says, doesn't he have some Pakistani heritage or Kiwi? So he's obviously Indigenous because he's playing in the Indigenous game tomorrow. The Khan comes from Pakistani heritage. I feel like he's also Islander. I feel like he's also like Kiwi or something. I don't know. I know he's got the Pakistani heritage through the Khan. I'm going to have a look. He's got Pakistani heritage through Khan. Obviously, he's Indigenous. And Māori descent. I knew it. So Campo was born in Lismore. His mother is Indigenous Australian and Pakistani, while his father is of Samoan and Māori descent. I knew he had Islander roots as well. Didn't he leave the Titans for family reasons? No, he left the Titans because... Oh, wow. The second half had started. They hadn't even let us know. So the second half had started, guys. Thumbs up, subscribe. And Manly have the ball. It's been 2 minutes now. The WatchNRL.com was a little bit late to the party in regards to showing the game. No, he left because a better opportunity came from it, the Warriors, and the Warriors are in a better position currently than the Titans, and it was always kind of coming, mate. Desi had him on the outer. Desi was putting him as 14, and it's going to be a penalty here to Manly to start him off. 30 minutes out from their own line, penalty to Manly. Australia's Phil still left the Titans because they suck. Yeah, they did suck at the time. They're unbelievable now. I'm going to win the comp now, but they did suck at the time. No, look, he fell out with the club, and it was mainly because of Des, because Des just didn't get him, right? Des just didn't really like what Loffy had to bring, and he played with his mental game quite a bit. Like, who's putting a winger as a 14? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, AKP at 14 was the final straw for Des, and it's not like he did it one game and didn't play him. It was multiple games and didn't play him. It was like 2 or 3 games where he put him into the 14 and he didn't see a single minute. And the fan base was just like, what the fuck are you doing, Des? Like, what are you doing? We now only have a 3-man bench. There's no point putting a winger there in the 14. It's quite literally pointless. Does Des get anyone? He gets some. he gets some, but... Mate, like back in the day he did, but not at the Titans really. He wasn't able to really exploit anyone besides maybe a Keanu Kinney, who was able to really bring it through. Manly at the back, Joe Welsh kicks it through. Manly score out of nowhere too. That was an awkward little dinker from Joe Welsh. And they will score. Manly, 20-10 with the kick to come. Joe Welsh is showing out here today. He is. We know he's a good player. And Joey Welsh is showing out. So that will be Hugo Hart again. That's his second try of the game here for Hugo Hart. Second try of the game. Titans should have never really gone to Des, to be honest. No, this is in hindsight. When they sacked Holbrook, I think that the name is I think they were in 9th, which is crazy to think about. This is in hindsight. At the time, Holbrook had like a 36% win record at the Gold Coast Titans, man. He was the initiator behind the comeback season where we had those massive comebacks against us from the Dolphins, from the Broncos, from Manly, from the Rabbitohs, from so many teams, dude. Like, those years with Justin Holbrook, and I love Justin, and I've said this before, like, I knew Justin off the field. He was an amazing bloke. I support him. I back him in for the Newcastle Knights, and I want him to be the greatest coach of all time. He's an incredible human man and really cared about the club and really cared about, people like myself and other fans in the community. He was an awesome dude. But as a commentator here and someone who will provide their opinion, 36% is not good enough, and the Titans were just in a positive purgatory. And the way I say positive purgatory is that they weren't awful, but they weren't going to win the comp ever, and they weren't going to do anything dangerous in the finals, right? So you can sit there and you can be a competitive team sitting around that 10, 9, 8 range kind of deal. And that's all well and good, but at the end of the day, you want to win the premiership. That's why I was criticising a team like the Knights when they had, not Brad Arthur, who was the coach before? I can't think of his name right now. Was it O'Brien? Newcastle Knights, Adam O'Brien, Knights coach 2020. Adam O'Brien. That's why I was criticising when Knights fans are pretty happy overall when he was getting them to the 8, and I was like, well, there's no kind of point here. It's a third tackle for Manly, they'll beat their own 20. There's no kind of point here. You're happy that he has won 10 games in a row to get you into a fifth place or whatever, but you get bounced out in the first or second week. It's a knock-on for Manly. Warriors get the ball here at the attacking 20. You're happy about him just getting you there for the first or second week and then you get bounced out. I'm a Titans fan, and yeah, sure, that'd be fantastic to see for 1 year, but after 1 year, you'd be like, well, I don't want to just come 5th to 8th. I don't want to come just 8th. I don't want to just be here. I want to be able to actually win the competition because that's the whole purpose. There's no point to just finishing every single year in the same position just inside the 8 and getting knocked out in the first couple of weeks. I tell you what, the Sharks aren't happy about 2 prelim finals in a row. They're content with it, but they're not happy about 2 prelim finals in a row. They want to win the competition. So with Holbrook, at the time, so they're just checking this. It's a captain's challenge from Manly. They're saying he didn't lose this ball. Oh, we've seen a flick of the finger here. Hold on. I don't know if this is going to be enough here. Oh, unless... Oh, to be fair, that's a strip. That's a strip. He has flicked his hands up, his fingers up, and yep, flicked his fingers up. That's going to be a strip, so it'll be a penalty here to Manly. Penalty to Manly. They'll be very happy with that challenge. So, look, 36% win record. The comebacks were mounting against us. There was never going to be any significant progression overall. There was growing discontent within the club towards the fact that things weren't changing at all. And Des comes on the scene. And look, again, I think that it's very easy to say now. It's very easy to say now saying Des wasn't the right move, but at the time Des come in with that rapport from Manly. He'd won multiple premierships. We'd never had a proven premiership winning coach at the club before. And he had that experience, and the only reason he got kicked out of Manly was because he backed his own players in against the gay pride inclusivity round jersey they had a couple of years ago when they were probably going to make the 8 that year that Manly, but then it all came crashing down because the whole blowout, it's a knock-on from Manly at the 20, so the Warriors will get the ball here 20 metres out after they get the ball from Rosette after it was kicked from Manly. So Des had a lot of positivity coming in, but unfortunately it just didn't work out. So I guess it's great in hindsight, but at the time it made sense. And I was frustrated when we first heard Holbrook was going. And I spoke to Dennis Watt and Stevie Mitchell about it. And I asked them, like, what's the go here? But they explained it well, and I agree with them. I agree with them, despite how much I love Justin. So, no, I don't think it was the wrong decision. I feel like you look back at it now and think maybe, but if you actually deep it, it wasn't. Looking like under 52.5 is shaky now. Well, don't bet on preseason. In hindsight, the pride thing of being the end for Des would have been the best for Des. Should have never really went to the Gold Coast. Well, why though? This is all in hindsight, man. This is all in hindsight. At the time, it makes no sense why you would have this opinion. For first tackle for the Warriors at the 30, here they are. They're on the attack. They've got an opportunity to get back within this game and get back within a try. It's going to be second tackle for the Warriors. They give it, nearly a knock on, but 6 again for New Zealand. 10 metres out. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Knock on from the Warriors. And Manly will get the ball at 10. Marcus, this one, Justin came to the Roosters. The attack changed since he arrived in 2024. Okay, well, let's see. Contextually speaking, his attack is good, but also Okay, so let's have a look in 2023. Wasn't 2023 the year they had like a ridiculous amount of injuries? So the Roosters in 2023 scored 472 points. In 2024, the Roosters scored 738, but I don't think he came until like late that year, did he? Or was he at the beginning of that year? And then they scored 653 in 2025. Like, their attack has been better, but their team has been better too, man. Like, their team has been much better. So third tackle, but I don't disagree. Justin Holbrook's a good attacking coach, but defensively, no. And yeah, Roosters have looked like missing the 8 a few seasons, but have clutched up towards the back end because of experience. But no one's debating Justin Holbrook's attack. We are not even debating his defense. Fit tackle here for Manly. They'll be at the 35 on their own side of the field. 31 and a half minutes to go of the game. We've got Tigers versus the Roosters coming up after this one. And Geronimo Doyle, he'll get slapped in the tackle by Josh Fleety, who I think has been good today. But Geronimo Doyle will bring it out to the 35. Diane says, hi from Papua New Guinea. Let's go Manly. Get around your Papua New Guinea. We appreciate all the Papua New Guineans getting around the game. And it'll be third tackle for the Warriors. Diane, but will you support the Papua New Guinea... what are they? Papua New Guinea Chiefs when they come in a couple of years' time, or will you stick behind Manly? Third tackle for the Warriors. Now they're in the attacking half at the 40. 30 minutes to go of the game, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. 30 minutes to go. Letitia says all the star power the Bunnies had, and they still say we need a bit to be around the 4. So in regards, Titans need a bit to be competitive. Letitia, the Titans. Are you thinking that I'm being serious that the Titans are going to go undefeated and win the comp? Surely not. I'm going to have the Titans around 10-11 this year. Being real, I'm going to, in my preseason predictions video that I put out next Monday, not this Monday, but next Monday, I'm going to have the Titans around 10-11, maybe even 12. Like, I just want to see a bit of positivity. There's no disillusion in regards to where this team is. And they could easily still finish in the bottom 4, but I'm going to have that higher expectation, higher belief in a 10, 11, 12 with some positivity. No, there's no disillusion in regards to the Titans being a top 4 team. I think there's a peak of 8-7, but I don't think it's likely. I think more likely is situated around that 12 through 10 area and maybe the 13 through 10 area. Chiefs definitely. Okay, yeah, fair enough, time. But you'll have a soft spot for Manly. So your soft spot for Manly, but you'll be Chiefs. Because I've asked this question to a lot of our Papua New Guinea audience here on the channel, and there's been like a bit of a 50-50 where some people will say, no, I'm 100% still an Eels fan. And I know Titans are getting a lot more support as well in Papua New Guinea now with Cooper Bye, which is great to see. But people have been like, oh, well, no, I'm 100% still an Eels fan, or I'm 100% still a Titans fan, or 100% still a Broncos fan, and don't even want the Papua New Guinea Chiefs to come in. And then there'll be a lot of other people who say, no, I'm 100% Papua New Guinea Chiefs. What's the highest you have put Titans in a ladder prediction from memory? 4th. And that will be Manly ball at 24. 29 minutes to go here of the game. Hi, Blaze. Happy 2026, brother. Up the Waz. Waz versus Titans grand final. Let's go. Yeah, 100%. But that's something that the Warriors fans would hate. You would hate that as a Warriors fan. Warriors Titans, it's all good to have a laugh now, but Warriors fans, that would be your worst nightmare of a grand final because your bogey team right now is the Titans. Oh, Warriors pick this up. Oh, it's a knock on. Oh, that was a chance right there, but a knock on from the Warriors again. And Manly get a fresh set. Warriors will be a bottom 12 team this season, I believe, says. It's a big call. I hope you're not using this game as a reference point, though. I hope you're not using this game as a reference point to know to predict them down there, because whilst they have a decent enough team here on paper, this isn't the one we should be using. I do see a drop off for them, but I do see a drop off for him. Ben, that Gagai drop ball was horrible, man. Knew he blew that. Oh, what are we talking? Ben, I don't even know how the Cows even made it to the finals that year. Oh, wow. Taken down at the 28. Was that 2024? Was it? Oh, they kicked that through on second tackle. What are they doing? So Warriors ball here at the 15. So it was actually just classed as a Manly knock on, not a Warriors knock on. And now the Warriors are on the attack. They're 15 metres out, 4th tackle. I don't know what that kick was just then, but they get away with it. 4th tackle for the Wars, 12 metres away. And Samuel Healy, jeez, I like him. I like Healy, man. He's a good player for the Warriors. I like him better than Wade Egan, to be honest. Gives it off to Hansen, and that kick is just pathetic, man. Put the ball up high. Oh, it's been really, really bad from the 5th tackle options for the Warriors today, but this is good defense here from the Warriors. But Manly get the offload away, and they'll get themselves out of the 10, but it would have been second tackle. 2 metres out. Instead, now Manly is second tackle, now 3rd at the 25. Folks, what do you think about the Broncos going to go this year? I think Broncos are still a top 4 team, but there's some big teams. Panthers look like they're going to be a big-time team. Ooh, 40-20 just short there. That'll go around the 24 or so for Manly. Warriors will get the ball their own 24. I feel like top 4 is teams like, Storm, Panthers, Broncos, and Roosters. But you've also got to think of teams like the Sharks and the Bulldogs and the Raiders and whatnot. There's a lot of teams that are... It's really hard this year, man. It's really hard. And then you got the improvement out of the Eels with Mitchell Moses. You got a full-strength Rabbitohs team now with David Fifita too. But they've got their halves are just not good. Their halves are all over the shop at the Rabbitohs. The completion rates are up dramatically from the first half, but the Warriors have still made an absolute ton of errors in the second half. Panthers won't make top 4 this year. I don't know about that one, Australia. I don't know about that one, mate. I hope you're not using yesterday as an example. That didn't play a single player. I've got the Panthers going pretty deep this year. They nearly made it in 2025 but starting so poor. They were literally 5 minutes away from making a grand final. Hansen, good run. Oh, it's another mistake. Oh my gosh, it's another mistake from the Warriors. Hansen's looked good at times, but that was just a pass that just didn't need to be made. Oh, it's so bad. So many errors from the Warriors. I never use pre-game to make a judgment call. So then why do you have the Panthers with Dylan Edwards, Brian To'o, Isaac Tungo, Nathan Cleary, Fire and Blaze Solangi, Mitch Kenny, who is one of the best defensive hookers in the league, not one of the best attacking hookers in the league, one of the best defensive hookers in the league, Isaiah Yeo, Liam Martin, Moses Leota, these kind of guys. Why do you have them not making the... Did you say top 4 or top 8? Top 4. Why do you have them missing? Who do you have above them? Name the 4 teams that you think are better than the Panthers. And they'll punch that ball up in the air. If you watch enough of these streams, Australia, you'll understand why I have to question in regards to don't use yesterday as an example. Joey Walsh gets away from that. He'll be at the 40, and then he'll put that ball into the corner. That was smart play. Smart play by Joey. He's been really good today. And Warriors will be taken down 2 metres out. At least he has him in the 8. Hopefully unlike Willie Mason, who reckons somehow the whole competition will compete, but Panthers miss out. Yeah, I feel like it's weird from Willie because I do usually rate the conviction behind what he says and the passion behind what he says. I don't always agree with what he says, but overall I like the knowledge that he can bring to the game and does bring to the game. But I think that is just so off at that call, and I don't know what it's based on. That's a 6 again here for the Warriors. So Geronimo Doyle will bring this ball to the 33. I don't feel like he's being dishonest, but it also could be. You know, I feel like Willie Mason can be a little bit of a... I feel like he wouldn't mind being the villain and being a troll because he knows it could be intellectually dishonest because he could be doing it so that you click on and just absolutely rage into him. Or that's going to be a knock on here from either Warriors or Manly. Hold on, I'll check this again. Manly are going to be away here. So I'm trying to think of the word here. Manly are going to score, but they'll check this in the bunker. they'll check this in the bunker. Where you're going to go on there and rage at him for his prediction and say how stupid the prediction is and say it's just absolutely ludicrous. So he's going to get the clicks, he's going to get the comments, he's going to get the views. And then you also will get those clicks, comments, and views all year long. If it pans out for him, he looks like a hero. If it doesn't pan out for him, he gets the clicks, views, and comments. Here we go. Yeah, no, that's just a mistake. Oh, let's have a look here where this ball bounces off. Nah, dogs for mine. Surely you don't have them top 4 right now. Surely not. We need to have a look at this Blake Wilson touch as that ball's coming around. Otherwise, it will be 24-20, 24-10 with the kick to come from right in front to make it 26-10. Nice try, Wilson. Put the pressure on. Yeah, but I don't know. I want to see this slow-mo with the ball. Franklin says, let's go Eagles. Hi from Papua New Guinea. Get around your Papua New Guinea, Franklin. Get around you. So try has been confirmed for Manly. And it is 24-10 with the kick to come. And they will be 26-10 any moment now. Nah, I've got to completely disagree with the Bulldogs there, mate. I've got to disagree with the Bulldogs. What are you basing that on? Because the second half of that season, you couldn't base it on anything. Second half of the season was awful last year. And we'll get the kicks for 26-10. I'm surprised you haven't put the Roosters there. Raiders were 501 to be minor premiers this year. No, last year. You're too mean. I could understand that. Raiders being 501. Most people had them for bottom 4. I had them for 9th position. And then they even overexceeded my expectations. Australia, you're a Bulldogs fan, aren't you? Let me just see. Is that your profile picture? Is there dogs? I feel like Australia's full might be a doggies fan. Maybe. Because New Year doesn't actually give us an answer. We're having a conversation here. I want you to actually give me an answer here. Why? No, Bronx. Well, then give me the answer then. Why do you feel like the Bulldogs are a top 4 team over a team like the Panthers or a team like the Roosters, for example, when what we have to go off is the most recent form of this club? And I guess we'll see today against the Knights. Surely they go and dominate. But when they were looking good, they had Toby Sexton, they had Reid Marnie, they had a whole different team in that first half of the year, and then they've gone away from that in the second half of the year, and the form was completely different. Could they do it? I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying that they can't do it. But I find it quite crazy to not have a team of the Panthers who have proven it time and time again, and also were preliminary final last year. Despite how bad they looked in the first half of the year, they absolutely crunched home the second half of the year, and then whooped the Dogs out of the finals, mind you. Like, absolutely annihilated the Dogs in the finals. 20 minutes to go here, guys. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. I think I was surprised again. People gave them no chance before. Well, I don't think that people gave them no chance. A lot of people will talk from a bias standard around the Dogs because the Dogs are a disliked team because their fans are very erratic in behaviour, is what we should say. So the Bulldogs aren't exactly a largely supported club from outside of within their own team. They're a largely supported club within their own team, but not from outside of their own team. So I feel like it's don't just take the general consensus in their opinion because they're just looking to hate on the Dogs. Same thing goes with teams like the Storm and whatnot. But the Dogs is more of a visceral reaction that you'll find because most people will have been to a Dogs game before and had an incident, or seen an incident. So that's why you'll get this animosity towards the Dogs. So I don't take anyone's real opinion about the Dogs too seriously because a lot of the time it will come from that bias standard. But I just feel like if you look at the form from the second half of the year, you see that they are still seriously backing into Lachlan Galvin. Now, I love the signing of Leo Thompson, but their hooker's not fantastic. Burton's on the outer and off to Perth probably. Their halves, I don't even believe that Lachlan Galvin should be the 7. If anything, he should be the 6 and somebody else should be the 7, but they don't have a 7 right now. I've never really actually backed in Burton as a 5'8". I think that Burton's a good player, but I don't think he's actually a 5'8". He's lost the ball there, Manly, so it'll be Warriors ball at the 40. They might challenge this, but this will be Warriors ball at the 40 for the time being. Yeah, he wants to challenge this, and they will challenge this. The forwards are decent. You need a lot out of Leo Thompson this year, and the back line, the defense is great, but it's just their attack that's really lackluster. And how have they improved their attack this year without using other teams in the example? How have they improved their attack this year? So Warriors players locked around the arm, and I think that's a strip, man, because he's holding the ball afterwards. So there's no stripping action, but if he wasn't holding on to the ball as this has come away from the Manly chest, that's a strip. Yeah, he pulls it. That's a strip. 100%. Defense wins games too, though. Okay, well then why did the defense not win the game against the Panthers, who you're debating right now, when they lost by 44 points? Like, literally the very last game. I don't think I'm being crazy by bringing this up. The very last game we saw from the Dogs in the 2025 finals was a Panthers win of 46-26 over the Bulldogs. And it was like 30-0 at halftime, or 34-0 or something at halftime. The week before that, the Dogs, okay, they made it relatively close against the Storm 26-18. We know about the Storm problems. But the back half of the season, the Dogs' defense wasn't as good as it was in the first half. Gave up 24 points to the Sharks and lost 24-6 in round 27. Oh my gosh, another mistake here from the Warriors. From Manly, sorry. So I wasn't even looking. I'll go back to the game here for a second. This game is obviously 17 minutes to go when it's 26-10. It's a mistake from Manly as they actually make a breakthrough here. And Joe Walsh unfortunately knocked it on. The Panthers game means nothing because the Panthers didn't play anybody in that game. They played a full-strength team. Lost to the Storm. They gave up 20 points. Lost to... Wait, hold on. Where's this game? Lost to the Roosters. Gave up 32 points. And this is all the prime time of the year, man. Only gave up 14 points to the Warriors, but the Warriors had a worse attack last year than the Titans, literally, statistically. Gave up 28 points to the Tigers. Their defense in the second half of last year was not good. That is a knock-on from the Warriors at the 30, and this is just an absolute schmozzle errors-wise. Schmozzle. So, like, you look at the back end of last year, and their defense was nowhere near as good. 28 points against the Tigers in round 22. This is at the crunch point of the year. Like, the big time. It's all well and good them doing it in the first half when they're a different team, mind you. But in the crunch point of the year, the most key point of the year, they get punched in the mouth by 46 points against the Panthers. They got conceded 26 points to the Melbourne Storm. They conceded 24 points to the Cronulla Sharks in the last game of the season. They conceded like 30 points to the Roosters. They conceded nearly 30 points to the Tigers there. They did beat Manly well, 42-4, but look how bad Manly were for the majority of last year. And then we go to round 20. So this is the last 7 rounds. They should have actually lost to the Dragons in that game. They should have, but it was a last-second win there for the Bulldogs, but at least they did get the win, whatever kind of deal. Manly at 10 metres out, and Josh Felitti is going to run around. He'll be taking out the 5. Been impressed with Josh Felitti today. Anyway, like I said, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm just debating the high thought process on how the Dogs are coming into this year. So fit tackle, 5 metres out, Longy. And Wakeham, Joey Walsh, big pass across to Blake Wilson. Wilson steps. Wilson, I don't know if he scores this or not. I don't think so. Yeah, it's a knock on. Knock on, very lucky Warriors. And Warriors will get the ball here at the 20 and they'll go quickly. They go quickly. Changing a team that late does not help. 100%, so why they do it? It was their choice. No one forced them to. They chose to change their team, and the team didn't kick on. The team struggled. Regressed. Duraz says, I mean, Australia full. You're a Bronx fan. Your lads lead 28 and 22 in finals matches and won both. Yeah, but I still agree with what he said in regards to defence wins championships. Defence does win premierships. Broncos were a little bit of an outlier last year. But also the Broncos were pretty decent on the defence. It's just that the Broncos were good on the defence inside their own 20. Outside of their 20, the long-range tries actually did come against them. But inside their own 20, they were one of the best defensive teams in the comp last year. On the line. Third tackle at the 20 for the Warriors. They need a score to bring themselves back into the game. Fourth tackle, 5 metres out from the line. 5 metres out. Here we go. That's up in the air. That's going to be a knock on from the Warriors. That's going to be an offside from the Warriors. Oh, errors in this game from the Wars has just been diabolical, baby. Diabolical. They're going to challenge this, but this is diabolical. Yeah, that's what we're here for, Australia. They're going to say it was touched from Manly here. So they're challenging this here, the Wars. Well done, chat box. Could be in 2026. Yeah, well, we've got 3 more games today. We'll have the Tigers versus the Roosters. Hold on, let's see this. Yeah, that's knocked on there from Josh Felitti. I think this is definitely going to be a knock on from Josh Felitti, but has the ball been released by the time he touches it? Yeah, it has been. This is a knock on from Felitti. It is. So we've got 3 more games today, guys. Tigers, Roosters, Knights, Bulldogs, and Dragons, Rabbitohs. So we'll be live all day. And then if you're a New Zealand fan, New Zealand, South Africa, and the T20 World Cup tonight is going to be massive. You see those teams they played in the finals when they leaked those points. Sure, but when you're saying this as well, we're debating right now about Panthers not being in the top 4. So the debate currently between us two is that the Panthers won't be in the top 4 is the bold assumption that you've made, and you've got the Dogs instead of the Panthers there. So if you've got the Dogs instead of the Panthers, well, one of those 2 teams that we're referring to in the finals was the Panthers, their very last game, and they conceded 46 points against them and scored 26, but also when the game was completely and utterly done, so they'll put the ball back into the scrum here. So their very last game was against the team that you don't have in the top 4 compared to them who you do have in the top 4, but yet the Panthers whooped them across the park. So left-hand side for the Warriors. Let's see if they can score and bring this game back on. 3 metres away from the line. 3 metres away. And they'll be 2 metres away now, second tackle. And this is pretty one-dimensional from the Warriors on this set. Third tackle, 5 metres out. Third tackle. They roll it back. And still just straight runs up the centre. Nothing happening at the moment. 4th tackle, 4 metres out. This has been a very underwhelming set. Very underwhelming set. And Warriors! Oh, they'll be held up just over the line. So close. So close. Number 15 here, is that Imai Tuava? Hold on. No, Tanner Stowers-Smith, sorry. 5th tackle, 10 metres out. That was probably their best chance of anything in this set. And there is an injury here for Manly. God bless him. I hope he's okay. Yeah, Bradenton, Dylan Martinez-Lesniak isn't playing. I will blame him. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a very Warriors thing to do. Brandon Westling says, who needs Valentine's Day when the NRL provides us with a full day of rugby league? Mate, we are Valentine's here. God bless all the partners in Australia, in Queensland, New South Wales, and in New Zealand. God bless all the partners of us all, because today is just a big day of sport. Yeah, too many times have I believed in a team because of last year's performance and they just shit the bed, so I do use it as a guide, but that's not it. Okay, but the Panthers have got 6 years worth of it to go back off of. It's not just a last year kind of deal. They've got 6 years and still a pre... it's an awful kick from the Warriors, and Manly will get the ball to the 10 on first tackle. The Panthers have 6 years to go off of. 2020, 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah. So it's not like it's just a random 1 year kind of deal. Like, you can't back in... For example, your Broncos... In 2023, they had an incredible year, got to the grand final, lost in the grand final, and then in 2024, they fell off, and then 2025, they go and win the comp from out of nowhere. I do understand this happens, but it's the Panthers are not just a one-off team. The Storm are not just a one-off team. The Roosters are a weird one because, like, they're not just a one-off team, but they kind of are too. But the Bulldogs have... I just don't... Yeah. Without using last couple of years reference for the Bulldogs, which is what you're going against there, without using the last couple of years reference for the year and a half prior to the second half of last year, I don't see the top 4 considering the changes in the team, which clearly impacted the results on the field for the season. Happy mushy mushy day. Get those cheating flowers. What's the cheating flowers? Who's cheating? We're not. No one's cheating here. What are we talking about? For tackle. We're not the Storm CEO messaging Andrew Abdo saying to use the blowtorch on Para for not allowing them to get Zach Lomax. Maybe I'm crazy. Again, you're not crazy, but it's not that you're crazy. The Dogs could get top 4. I just think that there are better teams currently that look more likely to be a top 4 team. Because at the end of the day, we're all just making an educated guess. 10 minutes to go here of the game, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. 10 minutes to go. Right after this, we'll have Tigers Roosters. But at the end of the day, we're all just making educated guesses here. We don't know shit. For all we know, the bloody damn well West Tigers will go and win the comp. They're not going to do jack, but for all we know, they could. No one expected the Raiders to come first last year. No one expected the Warriors to come even top 8 last year. What time is the next game? Like literally 10 minutes after this. Literally. It is at 11:50 my time, which is about 35 minutes away from now. Up the Bunny says, Titans actually looking good with their young players. Lockie Elliot's looking like he's about to have a good season. Hopefully, from your mouth to God's ears, Up the Bunnies. From your mouth to God's ears. I hope Lomax doesn't have a Valentine's. Lomax is a cat. Third tackle now for the Warriors, and they'll be at the 45. Valentine's Day is a waste of money. Don't let your Thai wife know that. Don't think she'll appreciate that. So they'll go out to the left. And Warriors will punch this ball to the 25 on fifth tackle. And they pass the ball over the top. They're going to score a try here. Good pass. Good pass. That is a beautiful pass from the Warriors. And they will score. Wow, that's actually a really nice try there. That is a really, really nice try. And Jack Thompson's going to be the try scorer. Who's the one who passes this ball, though? 22. No, sorry, it's Jack Thompson with the pass. And the Harry Tauafiafi Latoy is the one with the try. Harry Tauafiafi Latoy try time. But it is a fantastic pass from Jack Thompson that gets him that. And it's 26-14 with the kick to come. Lomax is the Kevin Durant of the NRL, unloyal to any team he's in. Oh, yeah, no, I know all about that, cat. No, he says, I take it back, Wise 2026 Prems. Oh, don't get him started. Don't encourage him, mate. I don't think you'd be watching this game here today and thinking that the Warriors are a chance of winning the Premiership with the form we've seen today. But you never know. You never know. So a kick from the sideline. Number 27 here for the Warriors is kicking. It's not like a crucial kick. It's Brandon Norris. It's not a crucial kick because it's just the 12 points, but the Warriors, luckily it isn't a crucial kick because he's missed it by the length of the Flemington straight. He's missed that to the left by the length of the Flemington straight. I love how we've just had another comment asking what time the game starts, the next game. Like, we've literally just had what time the next game starts, quite literally a minute after we've just said what time the next game starts. Like, a minute afterwards. A minute after we've just spoken about this, Ben, you've asked me what time the next game starts. That kick, Brenton, was so awful that it's just landed here in Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam, next to me. After today, Manly might make the top 8. Thank you, Lagging, for that brilliant piece of commentary. Not going to take that opinion into account, though. I swear it feels like another timeline that Dunny Guts Walsh was playing for the Wires. Yeah, to be fair, yeah. It's funny to think about him being at the Warriors. Not too long ago either. What was it, 3 years ago now? 2023? No, 2022. Yeah, he's been there for 3 years now, hasn't he, Walsh? So 2022 would have been the last time And he's at the Warriors. That is a different timeline. First tackle. Now second tackle for the Warriors at the 30. They need to score quickly, though. They need to score quickly. Let's go have a look at these bonus points to see if either of these teams are going to get any bonus points. So line breaks, 3 for Manly. I'm going to refresh just to make sure. Team stats. Line breaks, 3 for Manly, 1 for the Warriors. So I doubt either team's going to be getting any bonus point there. Offloads, 6 for Manly, 3 for the Warriors. Neither team's going to get any bonus points there. Manly have scored 5 tries. So they'll get 1 bonus point. They will get 1 bonus point there, Manly. But the Warriors have got 3 tries, so they would need to win this. Score twice. This is a good defense here. Second tackle for Manly. The 4 Warriors really arcing up in defense. The Warriors need to score 2 tries to get a bonus point. And now, Navin? Was it Navin? What's that guy's name? Navrin Willett, that's it. Navrin Willett. So fit tackle, 20 metres out. You got 6.5 minutes. You need to score 2 converted tries, and that would just be a draw. Warriors fans, but you're going to get a... Oh, the ball's going to bounce awkwardly. No, it goes to the 30. Here we go. What can the Warriors do? Is that Kalis Pupatoko? Oh, no, that is number 29. Harry Tawafiafi. The toy with a good run back just then. Good run back, second tackle. Now third, and they're 30 metres out. Here come the Wars. They're on here. Here come the Wars. 6 again for the Warriors. 6 again. There's a good chance. There's a good chance. They're going to score a try. Try time for the Wars. Try time for the Wars, but they need to get this kick. They need to get this kick, but a try time for the Warriors here will bring them within 8. And let's see how this one pans out. They need the conversion, though. They really need this conversion. Makaya Tafua will be the one who scores. And he just shows and goes it and scores in the corner. Well, you need a better kick this time round. 1 more try, Warriors, and you will get a bonus point. 1 more try. Dufty playing for the Bunnies today. He might come and bite us in the arse, the little prick. Nate, you've got a full-strength Dragons team up against a reserve-grade squad Rabbitohs. You shouldn't even be thinking that you're going to lose that game. And also, I don't think anyone's worried about Matt Dufty, but there's no way the Dragons should lose that game. It'd be so embarrassing for you. It'd be so embarrassing if you lost that game with the Rabbitohs. You've got a full-strength team in. They've got basically nobody. 4.5 minutes to go here in the game. Need this kick, however. Former Crusader stepping up. Rugby Union's pretty good for the old goal kickers. Yeah, he's got a bit of honey badger about him, this bloke. 4 minutes left. And he will... Oh, he hit the post. Oh, you're kidding. He's hit the post. So you still need to score twice now, Warriors. He's hit the post. That was a really good play the ball there from... really good play the ball there from the Warriors. And then he just did it all himself there, Makai Tafua. 2018, I've always thought Dufty was underrated. Oh, stop it. Stop it, Bunnies. Stop it. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Stop it. No, you did not. Wars have had no specialist goalkeeper for the last 3 years. Laurie, Wars have been the most meme team with conversions for, like, ever. Forever. I'll never forget the year of Chanel Harris-Tavita's conversion kicking game. Chanel Harris-Tavita missing that one from right in front that tied the game up was just unbelievable. Oh, and the Warriors are going to knock that ball on with 3:53 to go here. Manly will be 30 metres out. If Cole Flanagan is playing, Bunnies will pump us. Cole Flanagan is playing, Nate. He's playing, all right. He's captain. He's captain of the team. He's also captain coach. There's no extra time in trials throughout, so no. It would just be a straight-up draw. The Wars and the knock-ons today. Yeah, the Wars knock-ons have just been absolutely diabolical. Manly here, 15 metres away, and Joey Walsh, he'll be 10 metres out. He's had a good game today, Joey. Very good game. He'll be the 14 this year. I would like to see him 7 sooner rather than later, though. And I'm very well aware that it's Jamal Fogarty and Luke Brooks in the halves. But I would like to see Joey Walsh as the starting 7. Even if it's the 6 over Luke Brooks, I honestly wouldn't care. He needs to be in the starting team. I'll never forget Dufty blitzing the Broncos at Suncorp in the last minute. Bloody great try. 6 again. Oh, they go for the field goal. No, Corey Waddell faked a field goal just then. You've seen it all. On fit tackle, they gave away 6 again, which is horrific. But Corey Waddell has just faked a field goal. If Corey Waddell is faking a field goal against you, you know you've just been murked on. There's a reason it's called the knock-on effect. New South Wales Cup. Valid. Second tackle, Manly. Try time. Manly will score and they will seal the game with that try time. The number 14, which is Zaidus Muagututia. Zaidus Muagututia will score for Manly. And 30-18 with a kick to come. They won't get the line breaks bonus points, and they won't get the offloads bonus points, but they will get 12 points for the win, Manly, and they'll get the bonus point for the 5+ tries, which means that they will go to 13 points with a points differential right now. It'll be plus 14 because they will get the kick. So plus 14, they'll be equal with the Dragons on 13. No, that's what it was. They'll be equal with the Dragons on 13. Dragons differential is 10, so Manly would go into 4th position for the time being in the preseason. Guess why coaches think we can win a premiership without shooting for the posts? Well, Tanner Boy doesn't miss though. You just got to stop forfeiting the kicks when he's the one kicking. You got to stop forfeiting it. Yeah, we've spoken a lot about Hakeem Haas in recent videos, streams here, other buddies. So I feel like I've been doing it to death. if I'm speaking about it again. But no, it's a fantastic signing. You just need to fix your halves though. You need to sort your halves out. That's a fantastic signing. Yeah, no. The thing is, Ben, he wasn't aiming for the post. He decided not to kick it. That was just a free hit, you know. It's like in cricket when the no ball happens, you get a free hit and then you just go for a swing. But if you get out, it doesn't matter because it's a free hit. Well, it's like in rugby league. Tanner Boyd said, "Look, I'm going to forfeit the kick because it's just too easy for us right now. I'm going to take the kick and like free hit and hit the post." But he did that deliberately just to really ensure that you understand that he was being nice to the Manly Seagulls. He's a compassionate man. He's a beautiful man. He's a beautiful man, Tanner Boyd. Thanks so, Benny. We had a top side that year, but when we lost our pommy half, we were screwed. Oh, yeah, that was something I noticed, Lagan. Nice to know that at the very least, Flanagan is the 6 and Atkinson is the 7. That's out in the fall there for the Warriors. That is a very good point that you make because I've been saying this entire offseason, Atkinson needs to be the 7, Flanagan should be the 6, but I felt like Flanagan would be the 7 and Atkinson 6. I'm so glad that Atkinson today is the 7. It says, Haas joining South is almost as big as Joey Leilua joining the Tigers. Joey Leilua, what a signing for the Tigers, mate. No, incredible stuff. So 52 seconds left of the game. He unfortunately he won't win this. But just a reminder for both teams, Warriors, the loss does not mean you'll come last. It's preseason. Manly, the win does not mean that you will win the comp. It is preseason. Both these teams have been under strength. Manly more under strength, but both these teams have been under strength. And Manly will get the job done. But I'll tell you, the Warriors are not known to be a team that do well in wet weather. This NRL season is going to be so good. Hopefully each club doesn't have much injuries by Rugby League World Cup. Yeah, it's going to be a huge year with that Rugby League World Cup later on. Massive. Manly now second tackle, 20 metres away. 26 seconds left. Will they go for a field goal now just for a bit of a shit kicker? Give it to Corey Waddell. He's already faked one field goal. Give it to Corey Waddle. Here we go. Here we go. They did give it to Waddle, but he's going to be 8 metres out on the tackle. Go for a field goal, you cats. No, they're going to actually go for the try. This should be the last play of the game. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Will he get the play off? He does. He does get the play off. They are going to go for a field goal. Joey Walsh, he will slot it over. I'm pretty certain he slots that over. And that is a field goal. So 33-18 is going to be the final score here for Manly over the Warriors. Joe Walsh, he had a fantastic game today. Really enjoyed him. Josh Fleety was good on the old defense. Not so much attack, but defense fantastic. Blake Wilson did a good job. On a Tony Large, I saw some really positive signs out of him in the 5'8". Hugo Hart with a couple of tries. And Manly just looked pretty decent overall, but with a completely youthful team. For the Warriors, not much of a standout overall. Doyle tried his best, but just wasn't at his peak. Ali Leotal with 2 tries was massive. You really appreciate that. The Warriors didn't do too well in the first half with most of their main boys, but the second half were a little bit better in overall. But there you go, guys. That is the preseason game done for Manly and the Warriors. We will see you in about 10 minutes time, 10-15 minutes time for the next game, which is the West Tigers taking on the Sydney Roosters. Obviously, do me a favour, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. We're so close to 40,000 subscribers, so pump it on home, and I will see you in about 5-10 minutes time. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.